In this video, we present an underpinning solution to protect building foundations from the impacts of land slippage. This process involves the installation of a series of helical piles, attaching the helical piles to the structure's foundation via anchor brackets, translation of the foundation's load onto a deeper strata. This type of installation requires a hydraulic machine. In this case, we used a mini excavator. The bucket of the excavator was replaced with our hydraulic driver. A pressure gauge was used with the hydraulic driver by attaching it to the excavator's hydraulic hose connection. The helical pile lead and extensions were attached to the hydraulic driver using a pair of pins. The helical pile was driven into the ground by rotating the hydraulic driver attachment. The slow rotation and high torque of the driver allowed the blade to slice through the soil strata the way a screw would be driven into a piece of wood. The pressure gauge displayed the bearing capacity of the pile as it interacts with the soil strata during installation. These pressure readings can be used in a formula supplied by the driver manufacturer to acquire the bearing pressure. I will now explain the process of assembling and attaching the anchor bracket. The sleeve with the flat plate was placed over the pile shaft. The foundation plate was then anchored onto the structure. This secured the adjoining sleeve bracket in place. The crown plate was placed on top of the pile shaft. The crown plate was attached to the sleeve bracket via a strut and 2-bolt arrangement, with the bolt placed to the outside of either plate. A mechanical hydraulic jack was placed on the top of the anchor plate. The crown plate was placed above the jack and secured via coupling bolts, struts, and bolts that are joined to the threading at the anchor plate. The hydraulic jack was engaged and traveled upwards, translating the structure load to the support, allowing the structure to be leveled. Once the desired level was achieved, the sleeve was anchored to the pile via a nut and a thread bolt. The hydraulic jack and crown plate were then removed. This outlines the complete underpinning process. The bracket arrangement was then finished and remained in place to continue supporting the structure. The project outlined in this video was completed in under 7 days. The series of piles and brackets were anchored onto the designated locations. In this project, the helical piles were anchored onto both concrete and timber.